One of the most common questions I get after a car accident is this: Mo, do I really need a lawyer? And the answer might surprise you. Not every accident case requires an attorney. If someone backs into your parked car, there's minimal damage, nobody is injured, and the insurance company takes care of everything fairly and quickly, you may never need to hire a lawyer. But that's not the reality for many of the people who end up calling our office. The problem is that most people don't know whether they need a lawyer until they've already made mistakes that could have been avoided. So today, I want to help you understand when hiring a lawyer makes sense, when it may not, and why waiting too long can sometimes create problems. Let's start with the biggest misconception. A lot of people believe that if the accident wasn't their fault, everything should be easy. The other driver's insurance company should simply pay the claim, cover the medical bills, compensate them for their injuries, and move on. Unfortunately, that's not always how it works. Insurance companies are businesses. Their goal is to collect premiums and manage claims. That doesn't mean they're evil. It doesn't mean every adjuster is out to get you. But it does mean they are evaluating your claim from a different perspective than you are. You are thinking about your injuries, your medical bills, your missed time from work, and how the accident has impacted your life. They're evaluating risk, exposure, liability, and settlement value. Those aren't always the same thing. One of the first signs you may need an attorney is when you've suffered an injury that requires ongoing medical treatment. If you're going to the doctor once and you're fine, that's one thing. But if you're dealing with physical therapy, injections, specialists, diagnostic treatment, or long-term treatment, the stakes become much higher. The more significant the injury, the more important it becomes to understand your rights. Another situation where having a lawyer can be helpful is when the fault is being disputed. Let's say the other driver says you caused the accident. Maybe there are conflicting witness statements. Maybe there wasn't a witness at all. Maybe the police report doesn't fully tell the story. When liability becomes an issue, having someone gather evidence and advocate for your position can make a significant difference. I see a lot of people get into trouble when they're contacted by the insurance company shortly after the accident. The adjuster sounds friendly. They sound like your friend. They ask questions. They may request a recorded statement. Sometimes they even make an early settlement offer. And here's the problem. Most people have no idea what their claim is worth at that point. How could they? It's only been days or sometimes hours after the accident. They don't know how long treatment will last. They don't know whether they'll need future medical care. They don't know whether symptoms will improve or get worse. Yet, they're being asked to make a decision that could affect the value of their claim. I've seen people settle cases before they even knew the full extent of their injuries. And once a case is settled, you don't generally get a second chance. Another reason people hire attorneys is simply because they don't want to deal with everything themselves. After an accident, you're trying to recover physically. You're dealing with doctors. You're missing work. You're trying to take care of your family. The last thing many people want is constant phone calls, paperwork, insurance negotiations, and claim disputes. For some people, having someone to handle those issues provides peace of mind. Now let's talk about costs, because that's another major concern. Many people assume hiring a lawyer is expensive. They think they'll have to write a large check just to get help. In most personal injury cases, that's not how it works. Most personal injury attorneys work on what we call a contingency fee. That means the attorney gets paid if they successfully recover money for the client. If there's no recovery, generally there's no attorney fee. That's one of the reasons people often seek a consultation early. They can learn about their rights without having to make a large financial commitment up front. Here's another question I hear all the time. When should I call a lawyer? My answer is simple: before you think you need one. That doesn't mean you have to hire one. It doesn't mean you have to file a lawsuit. It doesn't mean you're committing to anything. It simply means getting information early. The earlier you understand the rules, the deadlines, the potential issues, the less likely you are to make mistakes. I've had people call me the day after an accident. I've also had people call me 6 months later after giving recorded statements, signing documents, missing treatment, and accepting advice from people who weren't qualified to give it. Guess which cases are usually easier to help? The earlier call is almost always easier. But let me be clear about something. Hiring a lawyer doesn't automatically make a case better. What makes a case better is making informed decisions. Sometimes that means hiring an attorney. Sometimes it means getting answers and deciding you can handle the situation yourself. The important thing is understanding your options before you make decisions that cannot be undone. The bottom line is this: if you've been seriously injured, if fault is being disputed, if you're receiving ongoing medical treatment, if the insurance company is giving you problems, or if you're simply unsure what to do next, it's worth speaking with an attorney. Not because every case requires one, but because understanding your rights is one of the best ways to protect yourself. If you've been injured and have questions about your case, feel free to give me a call. And if there's a topic you'd like me to cover in a future video, leave it in the comments below. I'm injury attorney Moe DeWitt. Injured on the go, just call Moe.